You can have a product that can truly change someone's life. I think that's an incredibly powerful product. I can't tell you how long we put into research and development for this. Most liquid carnitine is around 1,500 milligrams. We have a 2,000 milligram blend of 4 different types of liquid carnitine. We also have GBB, so you're actually going to be burning fat after you consume this product. This is going to make you sweat. This is going to make you not want to stop. You are going to perform like you've never performed before, and I can promise you that.
From the virtual Limaland Motorsports Park, welcome sim racing fans to the Core Racing Premier Series live on Racecraft TV. I'm your host Joshua Lee. Joining me alongside is Jordan Hicks. And Jordan, tonight it is a beautiful Sunday evening, the Daytona 500 getting ready to begin after 16 laps of action. We're getting ready to begin here at Limaland. These pro late models on this very, very short and tight dirt oval. You've raced these pro late models before. How do these things handle, especially on such a short course like we have here?
You know, you're definitely going to have to be very strategic going through every single turn at Limaland. And, you know, the battle for the points lead is actually tied with Brennan Mettler and Chris Hamilton at 93 points. So these drivers are definitely going to have to really have a strict mindset in taking these turns in order to come out on victory lane here at Limaland.
Well, this is the first time that these guys will be in the Pro Late Models here at Limaland this season. Earlier on this season, remember in this series, each week the car and track changes. So looking back, we started out with the Radicals at Darlington Raceway, and then in race number 2 last week on January 30, or 2 weeks ago, excuse me, on January 31st, we had the 2008 trucks at the Bull Ring. Tonight we're here for the Pro Late Models at Limaland for an 80-lap main event, but we will go through a series of heats in a C main and a B main before we reach that feature race later on tonight. And then when you come back next Sunday night, we have the Busch Clash, the Arca Menards car at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. That's going to be another exciting one with some mid-speed NASCAR stock cars on a great track of the Bull Ring of Myrtle Beach. And then on February 28th, the Global Mazdas at Auto Club. And you just look down the order. It's a unique car and track combo each and every week. And I mean, looking down April 25th, we'll take the Legends cars to the Lucas Oil Speedway Rallycross course. And it's just that uniqueness that brings it here to the Core Premier Series. And Jordan, when you have those unique car track combos from week to week, this is going to show who's the best all-around racer when it comes to those cars, because to win the championship, you got to be consistent, not only on different tracks, but different cars as well.
It's totally going to hit the drivers, a lot of them differently, as some drivers may have tracks they prefer, some may have tracks they absolutely dislike. So going into different tracks every single week it's going to be pretty cool to watch, but yet really challenging for every single driver.
Well, we're finishing out the practice session right now. Then we'll have 2 laps of qualifying to negotiate themselves through. Then we'll head into the heats tonight. 4 heats on the docket tonight, 12 laps in each of those heats. And then we'll head into the C main. Some drivers from the C main will make their way into the B main. And then from the B main, those drivers will go racing in the feature. 80 laps in the feature tonight, and it's expected to be an exciting one here from Limaland. As we continue to look on here in practice, we're going to take a short break to thank a few sponsors, and then when we come back, it's going to be action all the way through to the main event here on Racecraft TV. So don't go anywhere. Taking a short break, and then we'll be back with qualifying and all the racing here for the Pro Late Models at Limaland in the Core Racing Premier Series.
We needed more.
More from our bodies.
More from our minds.
So we went on a mission.
To study the top level of performance across every competitive playing field.
To find what fuels the highest level of athletes, businessmen, and gamers.
Through intense trials across every competitive landscape, we found that there were 5 undeniable principles that help your body operate at the highest level of peak performance all the time.
Focus. The ability to visualize and execute with precision. Focus is the single most important component when it comes to performance.
We combined multiple choline sources, including alpha GPC, choline bitartrate, along with L-tyrosine to help boost mental performance.
Recovery.
We need to take you from 5% to 100% as fast as possible. Bounce back with nourishing BCAAs.
For body and mind. Energy.
Fuel to get the job done. Answer the bell with confidence that you'll be able to attack with energy and intensity.
We mix a blend of instant and sustained release caffeine to light a fire with
300 milligrams of GO.
Stamina.
The willpower to see it to the end.
But true stamina is coming back day after month after year. We incorporated L-carnitine to deliver energy on a cellular level, with betaine anhydrous and taurine augmenting those effects.
Hydration. Sports science was built on hydration, and it's no secret why.
That's why we added a blend of electrolytes to help sustain performance. We tried all of the other energy drinks. They may help you stay awake, but not much else. We combined all 5 pillars of performance into one single form.
Focus.
Recovery.
Energy,
Stamina.
and hydration. We call it Refresh Technology.
And it delivers more.
Welcome back to the Limaland Motorsports Park. You're watching the Core Premier Series live on Racecraft TV. As practice continues to work its way through, we'll head into qualifying. 2 laps of solo qualifying for each of these drivers. Once we head into that, then we'll go through the heats. 4 heats are on the docket, assuming, of course, that we have enough drivers to fill in all 4 heat spots. Right now we have 20 drivers signed up, with the top 4 in each heat making their way into the feature race. Then we will have the C main with the remaining drivers that did not make their way into the feature. The top 2 will make their way into the B main. And then, of course, we'll have one from the B main make his way to the feature. And then, of course, the feature race, 80 laps in total. 12 laps for each of the heats, 14 laps for the C main, and 20 laps for the B main. As we get ready to go racing here from Limaland. And we enter round 3 of the championship like we previewed earlier on. The championship starting to heat up between these drivers. As just taking a look at it, Brandon Mettler and Chris Hamilton tied up at the top of the leaderboard with 93 points and 85, the tie for third between Kevin Foster and Carl Handwerk. So it's going to get interesting to see how this championship is going to go down, as we have less than 2 minutes now remaining here in practice. We'll be giving you updates from the Daytona 500 all night, as I'm sure everybody watching live right now is also tuning into the Daytona 500 at the same time. I know a lot of these drivers out there on the racetrack have the 500 on in the background as well, and they're focusing on the race here tonight. But we'll keep giving you some small updates on what's going on in the 500. The yellow flag is back out. Crews are making their way to the cars to start fixing up on some of the cars that were involved in the lap 15 incident. And they'll also roll off, get the pace laps going, and we'll be back racing in the Great American Race soon. But we're taking a look at the racing going on here in practice for the Core Premier Series in these Pro late models. Very different from the NASCAR Cup Series stock cars at the Daytona International Speedway, and 1 minute remains in practice. Your current fastest in practice belongs to Mark Thomas, a 12.842, a great time from Mark Thomas. Taking a look at those best times, Willie Evernham in second with a 12.853, another great lap time. Carl Handwerk with a 12.867. Jonathan Platt, 12.899, and a lot of drivers in that high 12-second lap time. I mean, Jordan, just looking down the top 11, all within the high 12-second margin. Then it goes into the low 13s, and only the last couple of stragglers at the back really getting over that lap time, but so many drivers separated by just about 2/10. I'm expecting some tight racing when we get into the feature tonight.
Definitely going to be a lot of tight racing, once you said they're all within the 12-second range, so definitely that top 11 is going to be really close by, like, bumper to bumper, I would assume. So they're going to be side by side, bumper to bumper, and, 12 seconds it seems pretty quick on the track, as the last place driver, Dave Lohr, in the 17 car runs a 14.32. So definitely going to be some interesting racing here at Limaland.
Well, it's time to go qualifying. 2 laps for each of these drivers as they take to the track. Once everybody has gotten their 2 laps in, then we'll make our way into the first heat of the night as we wait for some cars to make their way onto the track here in qualifying. No spots will be guaranteed into the feature race out of qualifying. The only spots will be guaranteed from our heat races and our C main and B main a little bit later on. But we're just waiting for some cars to hit the racetrack as we take a look at this beautiful Limaland Motorsports Park, and one of the tightest courses on the calendar here for the World of Outlaws Dirt Late Model iRacing Series goes here. The NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car iRacing Series goes here. And it always provides some great racing, as it is one of the tightest courses that you're really going to see. Just thinking about it, really Lanier might be a little bit tighter, but usually these guys are used to flat-footing it around in these pro late models, especially at tracks like Eldora and Knoxville. But here, Jordan, they're going to have to use a little bit of the brake and let off the gas. That's going to make some of these cars a little bit upset as they go into the corner.
Once again, as I said earlier, they're going to have to be very strategic on how they take every single turn, because, a lot of like a few heats, but then that main is definitely going to be the thing that everyone's going to be fighting for. So a strict mindset going into this race is definitely going to be key, as these drivers are about to go for qualifying, and a lot of close racing. As you can see, the driver of the 9 car, Eric Andrews, running a 13.312. So it seems like the time to beat so far, as we got a lot more drivers qualifying here at Limaland.
Eric Sherman comes across the line for his qualifying lap as we just wait on a couple more cars to make their way on to the racetrack. And it looks like one's making their way onto the racetrack. That's the 199 of John Crane. Making his way through turns 1 and 2. And through 3 and 4. Once again, very tight down in that corner. As he comes up off the track, I believe he tapped the wall there. Yes, he did. And he goes around going into turn number 1. That means his lap is going to be disallowed. You get any sort of contact with the wall or another car if you're in open qualifying, and you end up with a disqualified lap. And it looks like that's just what happened to John Crane. Definitely not what he was looking for, but... And you will try and regroup and rebound heading into our heat races. As we continue just to watch for some more cars making their way onto the racetrack. I believe there's one on the racetrack right now. It looks to be Mark Thomas now on time as he dives it into the final 2 corners here at Limaland. Back onto the front straightaway. What's the time going to be? It looks like he just took the green flag. No, he did not. The time is up. 13.053. What a lap for Mark Thomas as he goes right up to the top of the leaderboard in the number 50. Great time from him as we wait for the next car to make its way onto the racetrack. That's David Castelli in the 48. And we're going to go on board here for a lap with David Castelli here on the roll bar. Let's see how he can do as he makes his way through the first 2 corners and into 3 and 4. Such a quick lap time here. Can he be the first to burst into the high 12-second lap times? Let's see. Yes, he will. A 12.806.
Wow.
A great time from the 48.
Probably one of the fastest times in qualifying, as we still got a lot of drivers, coming out here for qualifying. But, what a difference as we went from a 32.32 and now down into a 12.78. So probably one of the fastest times we might see, but you never really know here at Limaland.
12.78, and he improved on that time in the second lap as well. So a great job from David Castelli as the next car getting ready to take to the track as we have a good bit of qualifying to go through here at Limaland. Single car qualifying. 2 laps from each of these drivers are allowed. You're not allowed to make any more laps than that as we wait for the next car to make its way to the racetrack. But taking a look at the leaderboard right now, 4 cars have all put in their times. And once we're done with qualifying, we will be making our way into the heat races and then the final mains at the end of the night. As we continue to watch the track for the next car making its way onto the racetrack, and I believe it's going to be the 43 of Jonathan Platt. Doesn't look like it. Don't believe anybody's on the track right now as we just continue to wait along. But Jordan, here at this racetrack, we've been talking about it a little bit and how tight it is, but also with iRacing dirt, the dirt's going to change a lot throughout the night, and going through the heats and into the final mains of the evening, we're going to see this track take on a drastic change as we see Paul Butler now on the racetrack, and he puts down a time worthy of 5th place, a 15.825. Can he improve on lap number 2? Got very close to the wall, but I think he does have an improvement. Yes, he does, a 13.079. Great lap from Paul Butler. But Jordan, just taking a look at this racetrack right now, it got a bit of a freshening up in between practice and now qualifying, but going through the night, it's gonna get dry. It's going to get rubbered in. How are these drivers gonna need to combat that going through the night?
The drivers are really going to have to start really thinking how they're going to actually take the turns So maybe more throttle depending on how it changed, or maybe less. And once again, like I said, depending on how it changed. So definitely these drivers are gonna, they're gonna be battling very, very hard, but then that turn's gonna come up, which may impact that gap between the car in front of them and them. So definitely a lot of mind games the track's gonna be playing with these drivers, as we have Willie Evernham leaving the pits right now, going for his qualifying pass. The time to beat is a 12.78 by David Castelli, as he's going for his first lap. Taking a nice turn through turns 1 and 2, going through 3 and 4. As crossing the line first for his first lap, as he's running a 12.90. So coming down to the final 3rd and 4th turn on his final lap, can he improve? And he's running a 13.18. So it looks like he's going to stick in second, or a 12.90 he's running. Got a little confused there, but still time to beat is a 12.78 from David Castelli.
That is a blazing fast time as we wait for the next car to take the track. Single car qualifying here as they continue just to work their way down the order through the qualifying session before we hop into all the heats and all the racing that we are going to see here tonight. And a lot of racing is on the docket for tonight, as we have 4 heats ready to go, and then the C main, B main, and the feature race. So a lot of racing, and we always see a lot of racing with the dirt racing here in iRacing, whether it's the Pro Series or the public series that people race all the time here on the service. It's always just a lot of racing, and in-your-face racing at that. As first lap coming in for the number 2, that's Nick Nickerson, and definitely not a good lap, a 44.307. Believe he spun out. Was not able to catch it on our cameras, but he's going to hop up into second, a 12.873. Great lap from the number 2 machine, and he'll hop into P number 2 at the moment. As we take a look at the next car, it's going to be Jimmy Covert in the 14. He is on the track in the Rep Esports number 14 machine, and he's going to take his first timed lap here. And his first lap, definitely not the best, a 16.187. And let's see as he comes across the line, will it be enough to make his way up into the lead? No, but he will go into 4th, a 12.986. Close, but not enough. Those top 4 times, all pretty much within 0.2 of a second. That is so close up at the top of the leaderboard right now.
As we wait for our next driver to exit the pits, time still to beat, a 12.78 from David Castelli. Having a lot of fast times out here at Limaland. And once again, we await on our next driver. I think that's it, Josh. Not too sure.
I believe we should have the rest of the drivers on the track just waiting for somebody to take to the track, so we can keep the qualifying rolling here from Limaland. Taking a look at the schedule for the remaining season, as Mason Smith is going to take to the track in the number 6. But next week is going to be another exciting race, as by taking a look at the schedule, we'll be in the Arkham Menard Series cars at Myrtle Beach for 125 laps. Then we'll be at the Global Mazdas at the Auto Club Road Course, then the Monte Carlo late models at New Hampshire, and then Pro 2 Lights at Bristol. That's going to be an exciting one. The Pontiac Solstice at Richmond's coming up. So many exciting car track combos are coming up here in the near future in this series. And a 12.999 going to go down from the 6 car of Nathan Smith. Great lap time from the 6 car as Carl Handwork in the 18 now going to make his way onto the racetrack for his first timed lap, and he's going to be the first one to venture up to the top of the racetrack. Doesn't look like it was a good idea, though. He gets very loose coming out of turn number 4 to start his first timed lap. I'm not sure if that's going to help him or not, but he comes into the final corner, running a little bit further up than a couple of other drivers are doing. Can he get to the top of the leaderboard across the line? 12.862. That's second place for Carl Handwork. Will he improve on the second lap. Here he goes through 3 and 4. Back onto the front straightaway, tries to keep it off the wall. He does by a considerable margin across the line. 12.83, he improves, but not enough to take the lead. Carl Handwerk now heads into second as the 8 car of Kevin Foster takes the track.
You know, what a fast pass for Handwerk, getting a 12.83, as Kevin Foster in the number 8 car is taking his qualifying pass now as he's crossing the line for his first lap. Taking a nice first turn through 1 and 2. Up on the backstretch. Having a nice final turn. Let's see what he can get. And it looks like it's going to be a 13.26 in 10th place. Going on to his second lap. And will he be able to improve? A 13.19, putting him in one more position ahead. 9th place for Kevin Foster in the number 8 car. As a not too bad of a pass, as it's pretty solid, and putting him in the top 10.
So 12 cars have currently taken time. As we wait for more cars to come onto the racetrack, as the 8 car of Kevin Foster does a little bit of some donuts there in the back of the pit lane. And it looks like we have a couple cars that are currently staged in pit lane as we're just waiting for the next one to take to the track as we continue qualifying here from the Limaland Motorsports Park in the Core Premier Series Pro Late Models here at Limaland tonight. And the first time these guys have been on a dirt oval this season in this series, as the previous races taking place at Darlington and the Bullring, to concrete and an asphalt track on both of those. First time they will be on dirt this season here in the Pro Late Models. As we continue to just wait on the next car to come onto the track for qualifying, and there they are. Christopher Hamilton in the 64 makes his way to the track for the first his qualifying lap, and he is currently tied with Brandon Mettler for that top spot in the point standings. But Brandon Mettler has still yet to qualify. We don't really know what he's got in that Pro Late Model. Can he improve in the 64? A 16.199 on his installment lap there, just getting up to speed coming out of pit road. But coming across for his first lap time, he's running all the way up by the wall, and he's going to abandon that second lap. So a 13.343, that puts him in 13th right now. That's not going to do much good for Christopher Hamilton if his current rival for the point standings comes out and does a great lap. We'll have to wait for Brandon Mettler to take to the track to see what he's got.
Definitely going to impact Christopher Hamilton right there, as it might even put him in the back of the pack. He's coming out on the track. Let's see what he can run, as he's got to beat a 12.78 from David Castelli. Still the time to beat. Running the high line through turns 1 and 2. Or 3 and 4, my bad. Now he's going through 1 and 2. Looks like he's having a very solid pass so far. Going into turns 3 and 4. Let's see what his lap will be.
12.827.
What a fast pass, putting him into second place, taking over from Carl Handwerk as he's on his final lap. And it looks like he ran a 12.833, so not too bad of a qualifying pass for Brandon Mettler in the 15 car.
That will put him in second place and a long way above Christopher Hamilton. And right now, Mettler is going to have a great spot to start a heat from the pole, which is incredibly important to start those heat races from far up the field, so you don't have to try and get through as many cars when you're trying to qualify in for a spot in the main event. As we wait for another car to take to the track here at the Limaland Motorsports Park. And we'll take a look at all the best times. We'll be scrolling across the top of your screen. As I believe another car is set to take to the track. Not seeing it on my timing screen just yet, and it looks like now we have the car coming out of pit road. It's Jonathan Platt in the 43. Or it looks like he might have just spawned right back in, as doesn't look like anybody's on the track right now. But I believe we should have somebody making their way onto the track for a lap very, very soon. And currently 15 cars have taken time. And it will be finished qualifying here very, very shortly. And then we'll be into the heats for tonight's race here at the Limaland Motorsports Park. Very great dirt oval here. And this dirt oval is incredibly small, around the size of the Lanier dirt oval that we have on the service. A little bit bigger than that, but definitely still a short one when you compare it to Eldora with the high banked corners, when you compare it to Knoxville, when you compare it to a couple of the other tracks on the service. It is much larger. It is much smaller, sorry, than those tracks. Those tracks are a lot larger, especially in those corners, because these corners have a little bit of banking to them, but it's almost like the banking at New Hampshire, where it's not too much, maybe just a little bit of elevation for those top lines. As Wesley Fuller is going to take to the track, and he puts down a time of a 15.917 for his installment lap as he makes his way into the final two corners and across the start-finish line. Where is he going to go? I believe that might have been a tap to the inside wall, the outside wall. Yes, it was. So that 15.917 is going to stand for the 35 car, and he's going to hop into 16th.
Definitely going to impact him, putting him into the back of the pack so far, as we got Patrick Cooney exiting the pits right now in the 001 car. And so taking his first pass. See what he can do going through turns 1 and 2. Now going through 3 and 4. Crossing the line. Let's see what he can get. A 13.212, not the worst, putting him into 13th, but coming to his final pass here. Looks a little bit rough, but let's see what he can do for timing, as he is going to have a 13.404, so sticking with his first time in 13th position here at Limaland.
Definitely not going to put him far up the order. He'll have to race his way through the heats. As the checkered flag now going to fly here on qualifying from the Limaland Motorsports Park, and we get ready for the first heat of the evening. 7 cars on the grid as we get ready for heat number 1. And your starting grid is on your screen. David Castelli, your fastest qualifier with a 12.780. He's going to start on the pole. Jonathan Platt in 2nd. Jimmy Covert in 3rd. Paul Butler in 4th. Patrick Cooney in 5th. Christopher Hamilton 6th. And Matt Crockett will round out your top 7 here on the first heat of the evening here for the Core Racing Premier Series, live on Racecraft TV from the Limaland Motorsports Park. Everybody now on the grid as we get ready to go racing. 12 laps to decide the top 4 of who will be making their way into the feature race tonight. And there goes David Castelli in the 48. And we get ready to go racing here in the first heat of the evening. I believe will either be broken into 2 heats or 3 heats, depending on who is signed up and still here to race. So that top 4 still stands. The top 4 will make their way into the feature race here tonight. And it is going to be a hard-fought battle to the end. Only 12 laps to decide who is going to take the win and who will grab the first 4 spots into the feature race tonight. The Iverson Pace truck into pit road. It's time to go racing from Limaland. Let's go. It's heat number 1. They're off and away through the corner already, still side by side between Platt and Castelli. Platt all the way on the outside, Castelli inside. They're still side by side as they come across the line for the first time.
Crazy racing for 1st and 2nd right now. 43 in the 48 car. 43 takes it on the inside, but the 48 seems like he's got the better line as they're both running the outside line now, as the 43 is trying to follow the 48 car of David Castelli, your fastest qualifier. Taking a look at the 14 car along with, I'm pretty sure, the 9, I'm pretty sure. Can't really see, but everyone's running some pretty solid passes right now as the 14 car is trying to get up to the top 2. So everyone having some clean passes, no cautions yet, and David Castelli is still your leader with Jonathan Platt right behind him.
We're taking a look at the battle for the transfer spot now. That's between Paul Butler and Christopher Hamilton. Butler currently holds holds the 4th spot. You can see Christopher Hamilton behind in the 64. He wants that spot away from the 68 machine of Paul Butler, and he only has a handful of laps to go, 6 to go to be precise. Here as they go work their way through 1 and 2 and onto the back straightaway, and immediately throws the car into turn number 3. Butler just trying to put together consistent laps as he now has 5 laps to try and hold on to this spot here for the transfer into the feature race. The bottom 3 will not make their way in. Hamilton has a shot, but he's still currently only running in the tire tracks of Paul Butler in the 68 ahead. It's Butler versus Hamilton. Now here comes Patrick Cooney to try and take over the spot. He's going to work his way to the inside, but he gets a little bit overzealous. He spins out going through turn 3. Now Hamilton has a dead shot. Nobody around him now as he tries to make his way into the feature race. You are on board with Christopher Hamilton in the 64. You can see the car ahead of him. That is for the transfer spot. They'll take the white flag this time by with 1 final lap remaining here in heat race number 1. It's now or never for the 64 of Christopher Hamilton. Can he get the transfer spot? Coming to the line, Castelli wins the first heat of the night. Jimmy Cover with the last lap pass is going to take over second place. Jonathan Platt in 3rd, and Paul Butler will take the 4th and final transfer spot here in heat race number 1. What a way to start the evening here from Limaland Motorsports Park, as we have the next 7 now ready to go. Brandon Mettler, Nick Nickerson, Mason Smith, Kevin Foster, your top 4. They need to defend their spots away from Eric Andrews, Wesley Fuller, and Dave Lohr. Your bottom 3 will try and race their way into the feature. And Jordan, after that first heat race, I'm expecting some more exciting racing, as those guys we saw a couple side-by-side battles, but it was mainly just that battle for the transfer spot, but it looked like Hamilton couldn't get out of his tire tracks.
You know, what a way to start the first heat. Now we're going on to the second one, so hopefully we can see some more racing like that, as that was very entertaining. No, not really much any crashes or anything, so the drivers kept it very clean, and the track looks like it's holding up very well. And so going on to the heat number 2, as we're going into the staging few laps, as we're going green soon. So here at Limaland, you know, these drivers are having some pretty nice racing so far. Not dirty, and some pretty clean passes by every single racer.
We are getting ready to go racing for the second heat race of the night. Top 4 will make their way into the feature. The remaining drivers will have to race their way out of the B main as they come across the start-finish line. Sorry, down the back straightaway. They'll be coming across the start-finish line for the green flag here. This time by. Pace truck is gone, and we are racing here in Heat 2. Great start.
Starting off pretty well. Oh, and as the number 2 car gets spun, we're going to have to take a look at what happened there. Not really sure, as the first caution of the night comes out in heat number 2, lap 2. And it looks like it was the 2 car of Nick Nickerson, putting him all the way into 7th. As we take a look at the replay, he's up on the outside. Looks like he got a little loose, and it looks like that number 8 car took him out going into turn 3 and 4. Taking a look at it one more time from an aerial view, just looked like the 8 car got really close to him as the number 2 car tapped the 15, So we're about to go green here after that first caution of the night.
Well, the pace car still on the track as we get ready to go back to racing here in the heats. Caution laps do count. As those lights now are out on the iRacing pace truck, we will be heading back to racing this time by. As still your leader, as it was at the beginning of the race, is Brandon Mettler. As the green flag is back out. You can see that red line now on your overlay. They're above that red line. That means they are into the feature race. If they're under it, that means they have more racing to do. As Kevin Foster in the 8 goes a lot of spots. More contact for Nick Nickerson behind in the 8 car. As they come across the line once again. Foster now trying to battle for the transfer spot. Fuller has to hold on to it. This is the battle right here. The 8 car on the inside. That's Foster in the American flag paint scheme going side by side. Now here comes the 2. He also wants that transfer spot as they continue to race. Contact up ahead. Foster goes into 3rd. The 2 car into 4th. Now the 9 and the 35 are going to have to race from the back.
Such dramatic racing here at Limaland as there's a lot of position changes as the 35 car is slinging it out wide as he's going to try and get on the outside of, I'm pretty sure, the 9 car. As you know, the number 8 car taking it pretty nice. Number 2 is up there as he's made it into the, I'm pretty sure, the main feature. Not really sure. But Nick Nickerson is, if he gets past, he is out of it. So it's a lot of pressure putting on his back right now as we're on lap 7 of 12. About to finish up the second heat as Mason Smith in the 6 car takes over the lead from Mettler as they're battling it out. Mettler goes on the inside and the 6 car goes on the outside, taking the lead once again from Brandon Mettler.
And Mettler now trying to rebound as here comes the 8 of Kevin Foster. He's in 3rd, trying to join the fight, but look at Mason Smith pointing that number 6 K1 Speed Machine down to the bottom. The 17, that's Dave Lohr. He is 1 lap down up by the wall, letting the leaders go by. But losing time now is the 15 of Brandon Mettler. Can he catch up? He might have had some contact with the wall there. I think he did. So definitely not what the 15 wants to do to try and catch up to Mason Smith. But now with 2 laps to go, he might be fresh out of time. As through 3 and 4, he'll take the white flag. Mason Smith looking to finish out this heat race as a winner. The white flag is out one final time around Limaland here for the final for heat race number 2. And here comes the number 2, Nick Nickerson, trying to grab that spot, but he won't. Foster takes 3rd, Smith in 1st, Mettler in 2nd as we conclude heat number 2. 4 more drivers into the feature. Fuller, Andrews, Lohr heading into tonight's B main. One more heat race on the docket here tonight, and it has Carl Handwerk, Willie Evernham, Mark Thomas, Adam Jones, Derek Sherman, and John Crane. 6 cars, which means 2 will make their way into the C main after this heat race, and this is the last one of the evening before we make our way into the mains.
You know, once again, what a crazy heat, as the first and second have been very, very action-packed as we're going on to the third one. So, Josh, I'm looking pretty forward to this heat.
Well, the pace truck rolls off, and we get ready to make our way back into racing. 12 laps here in heat number 3, the final heat of the night. Then we'll have the C main. Now, just a reminder, the C main acts sort of as an LCQ, where we're going to see 2 drivers make their way into the B main after those 14 laps are done. And I believe, considering the amount of drivers we have, we might go from the C main straight to the feature. We'll have to see how the iRacing service determines how we're going to make the feature race work. But we're green here for heat number 3. And they're going to make their way down into turn number 1. A huge 3-wide battle a little bit further back as they continue to race through. Your leader is still the 18 of Carl Handwerk, Willie Evernham in the 19. Now following suit in second, Mark Thomas for that transfer spot. Here comes Derek Sherman in the 51. He needs to get past that 50 if he wants a shot in the main event. The 19 of Willie Evernham now falling like a rock, though. He got loose coming out of 4.
Almost taking out a little bit of the pack right there, as you know, these drivers are battling hard. The 50 car needs to keep up the work he is doing, as there's a lot of pressure as he's the final car. As if he drops down one position, he is out of the main feature. As the 51 car goes around, and I'm pretty sure that's going to bring out our first caution of heat number 3, maybe not, as Derek Sherman is behind him, followed by the 46 of Adam Jones. You know, it looks like these drivers are going to get up into lap traffic. So definitely going to impact on them, as we got to see what they're going to do to get around them all.
Handwerk still leads in the 18, and you can see Adam Jones, that gap still extending between these two, as John Crane now trying to pass Mark Thomas in the 50 for the transfer spot, but you can just see how difficult it's getting. The track continues to change as there he goes into the wall. John Crane, a hard hit to the wall, and he goes too far down the middle, and he's going to end up head on into the wall. He still is keeping it under his own power, so no caution, but Crane is all over the racetrack right now, trying to regain control of that 199.
You know, going straight into the wall right there, as this track is definitely taking advantage of him right now, as he's trying to get up to speed. As you can take a look on the replay, hitting the wall once and then going and sliding it right into the turn, hits the tires and right into the wall. So, you know, the 199 car of Jonathan Crane, or John Crane, you know, definitely going to impact him, as the 18 car of Carl Handwerk is still in the lead by a second of, like 1 second of a gap. So he's definitely leading by a lot going into the final lap of the white flag. You know, definitely he has held the lead for the whole race, and I'm pretty sure that is the finish. So winning that heat is Carl Handwerk in the 18 car.
Handwerk grabs the win. A great fought battle for Handwerk, as he is showing his might in that 18 machine. These heats are qualifiers for the feature race, but it also acts sort of as a final practice and for drivers to really show what they've got, as we're going to go directly into the feature race. So no B main, no C main, all 20 cars on the track for the feature. Those heats set up the grid, and here it is. David Castelli starts on the pole. Mason Smith in second. Carl Handwerk in third. Fourth is Jimmy Covert. Brandon Mettler rounds out your top 5, with Adam Jones, Jonathan Platt, Kevin Foster, Willie Evernham, and Paul Butler rounding out your top 10. Nick Nickerson in 11th. Mark Thomas in 12th. As we take a look down the rest of your grid order, and finishing out the field is Christopher Hamilton, Wesley Fuller, Derek Sherman, Patrick Cooney, Eric Andrews, John Crane, Matt Crockett, and Dave Lohr. So we went through all the heats, 3 heats. We originally had a C main and a B main planned, but with only 20 cars here for this race, we are going to go racing here in the feature race. And here is the 3 wide salute. And I feel compelled to do this, as the World of Outlaws does all the time. iRacing, you wanted the best. You've got them 3 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt. It's the Core Premier Series Pro Late Models from Limaland. The base truck into pit lane. Who's ready to go racing? Let's bring the action. We're underway in the feature.
You know, starting things off with the 48 car, as he's taken over first position of David Castelli. You know, definitely this is going to be a feature to watch, as our first 3 heats were very action-packed, and now we got every single one of those drivers in the feature. I'm pretty sure, I may be wrong, but, you know, a pretty good battle by Handwerk and Castelli right there. Castelli in first and Handwerk in second. Not by much, though, as the 15 car of Brandon Mettler is right behind the 43 of Jonathan Platt, battling him for that top 3, as The 15 car is having a run, but let's see if he can get it running the outside line. Just Platt is running so quick to a point where he cannot catch up, as the 14 car is in the middle of everybody, which is Jimmy Covert, going almost interacting with the 6 car of Mason Smith. And we're on lap 5 of 80 here at Limaland.
And a huge battle going on further back here. Mason Smith is currently in 5th. Covert working the outside line. He's in 6th. The 2 of Nick Nickerson trying to work his way around the 19 of Willie Evernham. But Evernham holding strong, using that outside line, trying to find moisture in the track. Moisture is speed here in these late models. And around the outside, he's going to keep that spot away from the 2. There goes the 2. Now going to battle with the 64 of Christopher Hamilton. But the 19 of Willie Evernham now looking ahead to Jimmy Covert. This is the battle for 6th. And right now, they are 3 wide going through turn number 2. A little bit loose from the 19. He's going to tap the wall with the back end. He's not going to go around, but he loses a considerable amount of spots as he goes on to lap number 9. Now they're still side by side for the back here. One car getting loose a little bit further up. I believe that was the 46. No, it was the 17 of Dave Lohr. He's 1 lap down. No caution and no wreck. The 17 going to pull off the line. The 50 car also gets loose. That's Mark Thomas. He's able to save it. A lot of carnage going on right now, but no wrecks, no cautions. We stay racing as we go back up to the battle for the lead. Castelli in the 48 keeps it.
A lot of dramatic racing and a lot of close calls here. Surprisingly not pulling out the caution yet, as Castelli is still your leader after lap 12. So, passing that 151 car. And that is going to be the first caution.
Crane, the 199 of John Crane around on the front straightaway to bring out the first caution. Let's take a look at this replay. We were expecting a spin at some point by the way these guys were racing. And here it was. You can see the 3 wide up ahead. And it looks like contact between the 8 and the 50. Nowhere for the 199 of John Crane to go. And he goes around on the front straightaway. You're on board with John Crane as he sees that entire mess going on in front of him. Just gets tapped from the side and just absolutely nothing he could do. Let's take one more look from up above. Actually, I believe this, we had another incident happen under caution. Here's the incident that happened on the racetrack. We'll go on board here with John Crane in the 199. All the carnage going on ahead of him. Nowhere for him to go. Gets sideswiped. And that is all she wrote for the 199. Now, these cars do not have pit stops, and we're already back under racing. A very quick caution as we took a look at the replay. So we're back underway. Handwork now joining the fight up here at the front. He's going to try and work his way around the outside of the 43 of Jonathan Platt. Platt is there on the inside trying to fight for that spot. Doesn't look like he's going to get anywhere, though, as Handwork doing a great job on the outside. Another caution is out. And I believe it's another incident involving the 199 of John Crane. Let's take a look at what happened here from the 199. And more issues happening ahead of him, and John Crane just nowhere to go.
Let's take another look at that, as it looked like...
I believe the 64 Christopher Hamilton was involved in this one. And it looks like the 6 car got loose ahead of him and just...
completely turned him around.
Definitely just looks like they ran out of room to race there, and they realized too late. Couldn't fix it at that time, but these cautions have been going pretty quickly, so we're just going to go already back live here to the racetrack as everybody's already single file down the bottom of the racetrack waiting for the base truck to pull back into pit lane, and we'll go right back racing. Lap 20 of 80, already a fourth of the way through this race. And Jordan, as of right now, these guys have all been racing extremely hard as the base car is into pit lane and we go back racing, but we're already a fourth through this race. I can't help but think a lot of the drivers from 10th on back are going to be thinking about the finish and just how long they have left, because it seemed like 20 laps went just like that, and that's going to happen the remainder of the races. Looks like we had hold on the green flag, as now the field is going to take the green flag. But these guys really need to start thinking about track position, and they need to start thinking about it quickly.
And like you said about the timing of this race, those 20 laps flew by just like that. And, you know, these drivers are literally going to get into the groove, and the race is going to be over. So definitely Carl Handwerk in second position is going to have to get up there with Costali if he wants to get somewhere close to that lead. But we still, if you think about it, have a lot of laps left remaining in this race, as the 15 car is making up some ground, running the outside line, taking over third position over Jonathan Platt in the 43 car, but he's coming up on Carl Handwerk. But he just keeps on taking the inside line, which I'm pretty sure is a little faster as it is coming out of the turns. But the 15 car still running solid laps, as he might get a run. No, he will not, as we're already on lap 26 of 80. And, you know, no caution out yet, as the 15 car taps the wall there. Nothing really that bad, as he's secured third place, just depending on what the 43 car does, as he washes out a little bit, which was the 18 car of Carl Handwerk. And, you know, tough battle for the top 5.
Caution's back out.
I think is our third or fourth caution, Josh. Let's see what happened as the replay comes up.
Looks like an incident involving Dave Lohr here further back, as well as a couple other cars. And it just looks like Dave Lohr got loose. Contact with the 9 and more contact with John Crane.
Wow.
Oh my, a wild wreck for the 199 of John Crane up into the catch fence. That could spell the end to his night. And he's been involved, it seems like, in all 3 cautions here tonight. So not the night for John Crane here in the 199. Hopefully he'll have better luck when we take the ARCA Menard Series stock cars to Myrtle Beach next week. But we're continuing to move on here in the race. We'll take over on to lap number 30. And your update for the Daytona 500, it is back green, 20 laps to go in stage number 1. Won't spoil any of the results, just in case some of you guys out there watching are currently taping the race, planning on watching it after the broadcast is finished, or after this race is finished. So we're going to continue to just update you where they are in the race, but we'll keep all the results under wraps until you are ready to watch it at home. As the lights are going to go out on the iRacing Pace Truck, we're going to go back to racing. 49 laps to go here in Limaland, as they'll go back to double file and ready to go back to racing. We've seen a lot of exciting action tonight. This has been one of the most challenging iRacing broadcasts I've had to produce in a long time because of just how much action is going on. Contact for the lead. Handwork. Huge contact to the back end of the 48 of David Castelli. He doesn't get him turned around, but man, was that close. He tried to get to the inside. Did not time that correctly. Luckily, that didn't end up in a wreck. But speaking of wreck, we have more cars crashing in the back, and another caution is out. 4th one of the evening. Let's take a look at what it was. It looks like it involved Patrick Cooney and Eric Andrews. Let's take a look here. A lot of these incidents have been happening closer to the back as these guys get so bunched up. And yes, it did. The 001 of Cooney goes around, and Eric Andrews in the 9. Absolutely nowhere to go. And that brings out the next caution of the night. But quick cautions here. We're already back live, getting ready to go back to green, as the field is only going to pace for about 2 more laps. And then we'll be right back going here at Limaland. But Jordan, we just mentioned how quickly these laps are going off. We literally spoke about it, I think less than 5 minutes ago, and we're already almost halfway through. We were just talking about being 1/4 of the way through. I mean, these laps are going so quickly, and these guys really need to be smart about their racing right now, because if you're up front, you don't want to lose any positions. You only want to gain, and that's even more true for the guys further back, because they want a chance to try and win this race, as the 2 of Nick Nickerson goes around under the pace laps. A huge pile up in the back. Green flag will be delayed. What on earth happened back here? As they were getting bunched up, ready to go back to green, and around went the 2. What on earth happened back here? Oh my, the 17 of Dave Lohr, contact in the back.
Looks like he came around the turn way too quick completely turning the 2 car all the way around. And like you said, delaying the green. And as you were saying before, we spoke of that on lap 20. It is now lap 38. So these drivers are definitely going to have to push a lot harder, because I wouldn't be surprised, depending on cautions, if we got another 10-15 minutes left in this race.
Well, the IRC pace truck now is pulling in, and it doesn't look like it's going to pull back out just yet. We're back underway here at the Limaland Motorsports Park, as the 18 of Carl Handwerk still trying to take the lead, but he has so much pressure from Jonathan Platt behind. Here comes the 43 up to the inside, trying to take the lead away. And it looks like we might have had an incident with the 48 of David Castelli. I think he might have just lost connection to the server. We'll wait to update that. It could just be for the moment, but I think you can see him blinking in front. Caution is out for, I believe it, a completely different incident. It looks like an incident between Derek Sherman and Eric Andrews, but Castelli still not back into the server. I think he might have just disconnected, Jordan. That's huge for Castelli. He was having such a dominant night, and something so simple as an internet outage might take him out of this race, as we just took a look at that replay of that incident, and we're going to hop back live to discuss this. Handwerk takes the lead. Castelli disconnects. And Jordan, we talk about the differences between iRacing and real life as it being not that much of a difference, but that's the main difference right there. Hardware, software, and internet issues. And it very much looks like Castelli just had one of them bite him right here, right now, and he's going to lose out on a win.
Definitely probably the worst thing that could possibly happen.
Oh, he's back!
As he's coming up on, I don't even know where he is. I think he's in 12th. So
I don't think he's going to be able to get those positions back under pacing either. He's going to have to do it under green flag.
A lot of hard work just thrown out the window there by the server. And like I was saying, you know, definitely internet issues can be the worst. Like, you could wreck, and it's bad already, but losing connection to a server could mean a lot to somebody.
19 of Willie Evernham getting a lap back. The green has been delayed for one more pace lap, as they'll make their way back around. 35 laps remain when they come across the start-finish line here at Limaland. 80 laps total here tonight, as we go right back to racing here in these Pro Late models. Good battle for the lead. That's Handwerk taking the early jump over the 15 of Brandon Mettler. Mettler now sits in second. He has the 2 of Nick Nickerson right behind, but you can see him going side by side with the 43 of Jonathan Platt. We're seeing 3 cars on the outside, 2 on the inside. Platt's going to wash up the track. A little bit of contact with the 15. Not that much, no incident. They continue to race through 3 and 4. The outside line starting to be experimented by some more drivers, but that middle line still looks dominant as Handwerk keeps the lead. Contact to the wall for the 2. Oh, more contact to the wall.
A lot of wall tapping right there for the number 2 car, as a lot of these drivers are trying really hard, as they don't have much time left to go here in this race. Lap 49 of 80. Now I'm pretty sure it's lap 50. So, you know, Brandon Mettler is in the lead now, followed by Carl Handwerk, as he's taking over the lead, as they're having a 1 and 2 battle up there in the top 2, as this racing has so much action packed into it, and these drivers are definitely looking for a win here, as the 15 car has changed his line into the bottom line, as Carl Handwerk has gone to the top line. So they actually switched out lines, and you know, it looks like he's going to run the top line with him. And so going on to lap 53, I'm thinking, you know, the 18 car of Carl Handwerk is going to lead out with Brandon Mettler followed right behind him.
And this is the battle for the lead now, as the 15 works his way up to the top of the racetrack. And as these tracks really work their way in, you can see the bottom of each of the corners getting rubbered in and dry. That is not good for the handling of these cars. They want to be in wet, moisture-filled dirt. and it doesn't work well when all that moisture is worked out. So now these guys are starting to experiment up to the top of the racetrack, trying to find that moisture, and whichever driver does that first is going to be running the fastest laps of the race. Nobody's really been able to do it right now. Everybody running in each other's tire tracks up on the outside line, but here comes Handwork. He's now going to work his way through lapped traffic. He goes by the 10 of Matt Crockett. He now is the 51 of Derek Sherman up ahead. So he's going to send lapped cars back now for Brandon Metler to deal with. But if Handwork gets caught up for too long, we could see the battle for the lead get even closer as the 15 goes all the way to the inside to try and get by a lapped car. Oh, caution is back out as well. Mason Smith around.
Not what he's going to want as we take a look at the replay. He's up top on the wall, now in the middle. Let's see what happened to Mason as he hit the wall and almost had the 14 car of Jimmy Covert involved, as that's not going to be what Mason Smith in the 6 car wanted. As we go back live with 22 laps to go, your leader Carl Handwork in the 18 car, followed by Brandon Metler and Jonathan Platt in the 43 car. Those are your top 3 coming down to the line with 22 laps remaining.
So Handwork currently keeps the lead with 15 of Brandon Metler in second, Platt in third, Wesley Fuller fourth with Nick Nickerson rounding out your current top 5 on the racetrack. And that top 5 could change at any moment out here on the racetrack. And that is because here in these late models, they really have been racing 100% all night long. As the field will get doubled up once again. The lights are going to go out in the pace truck this time by. Green flag delayed for 1 lap. And we're going to have 19 laps to go into the final quarter of this race. And in that first quarter, we really saw a lot of drivers try and get their feet under them on this track. Then in the second quarter, we saw a lot more drivers trying to find their positions. The third quarter was full of trying to find the moisture on the racetrack. Now the fourth quarter is full of trying to get the win. And anybody in this top 5 can currently hold it as the green flag is back out. Handwork keeps the lead. Metler now trying to defend behind him. Here comes Jonathan Platt. He slides up, tries to take second, but back to the second place goes Metler. Everybody now fighting for position in this pack. Contact further back between the 35 and the 64. The 2 now trying to take over these positions. Top 3 tries to pull away. They're side by side for 4th.
A lot of hardcore racing with 17 laps to go. You know, Carl Handwork has definitely got the pressure, which, you know, followed by Brandon Metler. He's not too far behind, and a lot of these drivers are literally pushing the cars to limits they probably have never reached before, as the 43 car almost makes contact with the 2 as he's trying to take the bottom, the 2 of Nick Nickerson, as he seems to be running pretty good on the lower line, as the 43 car of Jonathan Platt is falling back, as I'm pretty sure Nick Nickerson secured third position, 14 laps remaining here at Limaland.
So he grabs that 3rd place position, and that is crucial as he now tries to get over 2nd place. But here comes the 43 at Platt once again. The 2 tried to slide up and solidify that spot by blocking the 43. The 43 going to do the same thing, but he's going to tap the wall. Nickerson back to 3rd, and he now is going to try and look ahead to 2nd place, but Platt's not done. He's going to try and go back to the inside. Look at these cars running all so close together, trying to get as much positions as they can. Wesley Fuller in 5th, got a little bit loose coming out of that corner. He's gonna fall back as we take another look at the battle for the lead. There's Carl Handwork trying to work around lapped cars. There's the 15 of Brandon Metler. The gap staying fairly consistent right now. We'll grab the battle box. We'll see exactly what's going on for this battle for first, but right now it just looks like not a lot of battling going on further back here, as we have another caution out on the racetrack.
You know, 9 laps to go. Let's see what could happen, you know. Taking a look at the replay. I'm not too sure who it was. Seems might be Adam Jones of the 46 car. as we await to kind of see what happened. Not too sure.
Try and grab that replay. It looks like it was an incident involving Adam Jones in the 46. And maybe as well Patrick Cooney in the 001. Let's see if we can just get anything. And it looks like Platt had contact with the 10. A little bit further back, and same thing. The 001 hits the wall.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's the main incident that we had the caution come out for. Up and over onto his lid goes the 001.
And that might be the end of the night for him, as his whole front end was completely bent to the, I'm pretty sure, the right and out. So 6 laps remaining here at Limaland. Few more laps as we pace and get ready to go green.
5 laps to go. Now or never to take the win here at the Limaland Motorsports Park. Handwork already is going to clear the 15 of Brandon Mettler. They're going to go 2 by 2 further back. That's Nickerson trying to get by Jonathan Platt in the 42. In the 43. They're still side by side as they go on to 4 laps to go. Handwork on the outside line. He's been working that line since about halfway through this race, and it seems to be working absolutely perfectly for him. As we now have 3 laps to go. Slight tap to the wall for Handwork. These cars, you can beat them in on that left side, or in the right side, but they're not going to get much damage. But another caution is out. Butler around. Foster, Adams. What happened further back in this field to bring out the caution?
Wow.
We're going to be going into overtime. Multiple incidents going on. Another car on their lid.
A big pile up right there, as I'm pretty sure we had 3 laps remaining under caution. So, like you said, Josh, we're going into overtime. Carl Handwork still remains in first. 15 car of Brandon Mettler and the 43 car of Jonathan Platt. Round out your top 3 with 3 laps remaining.
So this will be the first attempt at a green-white checkered finish. And if you don't know what a green-white checkered is, it is a green flag lap, followed by the white flag, followed by the checkered flag. And I believe we have 3 attempts to get a proper finish to this race. So we're going to go green with 2 laps to go. All that Mettler is thinking about right now is trying to get the win. All Handwork is thinking about, defend Mettler behind. The base truck into pit lane. We're back racing. Here comes the 43. Platt trying to make his way to the inside. 1 car gets up on the wall. They're further back. More wrecking going on. They're able to save it as now they go onto the white flag. Handwork is going to take the white flag before the caution comes out. This race is official. Handwork trying to work the outside line. He's going to continue to do it. 1 final push from Platt, and Mettler not going to get it. Carl Handwork in the 18 wins at Limaland.
Wow, what a race.
An amazing finish to finish it out in overtime as Carl Handwork takes the win in spectacular fashion here at Limaland Motorsports Park. What a race for 80 laps. An absolutely unbelievable finish for this 18 machine. And we're going to grab an interview with him when we come back. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Racecraft TV, the Core Premier Series, here from the Limaland Motorsports Park. A fantastic finish. We'll have a replay of that and an interview with your winner, Carl Handwork, coming up after the break.
We needed more.
More from our bodies.
More from our minds.
So we went on a mission.
To study the top level of performance across every competitive playing field.
To find what fuels the highest level of athletes, businessmen, and gamers.
Through intense trials across every competitive landscape, we found that there were 5 undeniable principles that help your body operate at the highest level of peak performance all the time.
Focus, The ability to visualize and execute with precision. Focus is the single most important component when it comes to performance.
We combined multiple choline sources, including alpha GPC, choline bitartrate, along with L-tyrosine to help boost mental performance.
Recovery. We need to take you from 5% to 100% as fast as possible. Bounce back with nourishing BCAAs.
For body and mind. Energy.
Fuel to get the job done. Answer the bell with confidence that you'll be able to attack with energy and intensity.
We mix a blend of instant and sustained release caffeine to light a fire with
300 milligrams of GO.
stamina.
The willpower to see it to the end. But true stamina is coming back day after month after year. We incorporated L-carnitine to deliver energy on a cellular level, with betaine anhydrous and taurine augmenting those effects.
Interview.
We needed more.
More from our bodies.
A fantastic finish here from the Limaland Motorsports Park. Welcome back. We're live here on Racecraft TV. And just an incredible finish to this race. We knew it was going to be exciting, and it was just such an incredible race all around. Here's the final lap as Handwork takes the white flag. And he was just able to hold on to that outside line so well all night. Nobody able to use the inside line to their advantage enough. You can see the one time that Handwork runs the inside, he gets loose down on the inside and is slow coming through the final corner. Luckily, they weren't close enough to get by him, but Jordan, we know that if Handwork was to run that inside line a little bit earlier on, he might not be in victory lane tonight.
You know, definitely change to the outside line was probably the key factor of his win here tonight. So switching once again to the outside line was a very, very, very good idea, as I'm pretty sure the 43 and the 18 car switched. Pretty sure the 43 was up on the top and the 18 was on the bottom. So eventually throughout the race, they might have seemed that what line would be better for them. And, you know, the 18 car of Carl Handwork came out on top here on victory lane.
Well, we're going to grab an interview with your winner, Carl Handwork, and he's joining us in the booth now. Carl, welcome to the Racecraft TV booth. What a race all night long. I want to talk about your heat race first because you were able to get a great finish in that heat race. Was that the momentum that you needed to then carry into that feature race? Because it seemed like you were the dominant car to beat all night.
Well, honestly, I mean, I think it really started in qualifying. I mean, I knew I needed to get a good spot qualifying, and, you know, with me being higher in the point standings, I knew I was going to go out there late. So I needed to put a burner down late, you know, when the track started wearing a little bit, just to get a good spot. And to start on the pole on one of them, that was a blessing because it allowed me to do what I did in the heat race. I mean, if I don't get a good qualifying, it's going to be a long, long night. So it started there, but yeah, I mean, heat race, it looked like it was going to be a little bit of a battle there to start with me and Willie, but I was able to get away a little bit and kind of get a little comfortable and start to track a little bit for grip. But then, yeah, then the feature, that was an entire race of searching for grip.
And he talked about that searching for grip, and we mentioned it a little bit earlier on in the broadcast, that inside line really started to get loose down there, started to get rubbered in, very dry. Was that search for moisture naturally up towards the top of the racetrack, or did you think you could maybe try and find something on that very inner line on the inside? Because it seemed like you could either run all the way down the bottom or all the way down on the top, and it seemed like they were kind of even there towards the middle part of the race.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird with this track and these cars. It almost seems like the preferred line is in the middle. Then when that dries out, it's down towards pretty much the bottom. Then when that dries out, then you're kind of working your way slowly up to the top of the track. And then when that burns out, then you're all the way back down at the bottom, or just, you know, kind of, you know, ripping the lip as much as possible at the top. But yeah, I mean, it's dirt. It's a constant search for grip. And honestly, I mean, I was kind of content and I thought it was okay down at the bottom until I seen Mettler kind of driving up on me pretty quick on the high side. So I'm like, you know what, let me at least take his line away, see if it works for me. You know, worst case scenario, he's going to try and pass me with a line maybe he's not comfortable with. But yeah, that ended up being possibly the move that won me the race.
And congratulations on your win. Anyone else you would like to thank here on Racecraft TV?
Just thank the usual. Obviously, thank you guys for putting it out there. It's awesome having you guys in the booth and broadcasting us. Thank our sponsors, Joka Graphics, Wood Nickel Woodworking, Raise Energy, and thank all these guys for coming out here. I mean, it's a blast every week, and dirt track racing can be a little sketchy, can be a little bumping and banging. So I'm sure there'll be some black and blues that'll have to heal after tonight. But it was fun.
Thank you very much. That's Carl Handwork, your winner here from the Limaland Motorsports Park. And that's going to conclude an insane night of action here on Racecraft TV. And Jordan, we're heading in now to another week of racing. Tomorrow night we have the Vintage Series, but a week from now we're going to be seeing this Core Racing Premier Series back with a new car track combo, the ARCA Menards Series stock cars at the Myrtle Beach Speedway, a historic short track in NASCAR. What are you looking forward to as this championship is going to just start to heat up?
You know, I'm definitely looking forward to those clean and tight racing, like where the racing gaps are literally close to none, bumper to bumper. And, you know, next week might be it, depending on what is happening with the track. But I feel like our drivers we have in the series can do so. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, thank you all for tuning in here for tonight's race here on Racecraft TV. Make sure you check out all the other exciting iRacing action that we have here on the channel, and come back a week from tonight for another round of the Core Racing Premier Series. For Jordan Hicks, I am Joshua Lee. We thank you for tuning in, and we're saying good night from Limaland.